I am David Amberg, Vice President for Research, and I will be today's MC. You can now please take your seats. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Danielle LaRoccarina, President of SUNY Upstate Medical University.
It's hard to see you, so I hope you see us on the stage. I will start by welcoming you all. And I want to pay homage to the ancestral home of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, on whose land we stand. So I've had the pleasure today, thus far, and now it's post-lunch, to actually speak to you are the third college, and I will end with the College of Medicine. And so I will share a common theme with you. The theme for today is courage and taking stock. And I hope with each of the colleges, what I've been able to do is, while retaining that theme, is to really touch upon the things that are unique to the journey that these graduates have gone through. So welcome, students, families, colleagues, our distinguished guests, and honorary recipients. We congratulated and honored Carolyn Jones, a documentary filmmaker, earlier. Jean-William Pape is here and will give remarks here, but also will be conferred a degree later. And Tracy Shenandoah as well, who is the Onondaga faith healer. Dean Smith, and thank you for your leadership. And the Board of Trustees, Eunice Lewin, will be joining us at the College of Medicine ceremonies. So I am addressing for the third time today a graduating class with the theme, as I said, of courage and taking stock of the inner workings of our university, its colleges, as well as the outer workings of the world around us. We have no illusions. We know that during the course of study, especially for you, the graduate students, that it's a long haul. And the world actually continues to revolve while you are studying. Did you know that? Yes, okay. I address here all of you, and as you may well know, but for the family and friends in the audience, the College of Graduate Studies here at Upstate has offered these students the possibility to delve into the mechanisms and origins of diseases. You have been charged to look at diseases using the technological advances at the molecular and cellular levels, and to learn how to develop targeted treatments, which is the buzzwords these days of precision medicine. Your research has been in the basic domains of structural and molecular and systems biology. Your length of studies, as I mentioned, has been arduous, often extending, I think, 6 to 8 years, which is really the outer limit for the colleges that we're presenting today. And some of you have even taken on the task of being physicians as well as researchers. You have also been trained in the ethical conduct of research and its application to do good, respecting the basic principles as we know them of autonomy, beneficence, and justice. In the course of study exemplified by their curriculum, and I made these observations for the other colleges as well, you, the students here, are ready to receive your degrees, and I pose the same question to all 4 colleges. Have we prepared you well? Have you been prepared for what you experience both within these walls and outside? The former question, while relatively straightforward in your field, has yielded some innovations in your training, which I think you'll recognize, and I thank Dr. Schmidt for sharing some of this. Nano courses, I had to look that up, right? Short half-credit courses on various topics started about a year ago gave you the opportunity to have a menu of novel subjects to explore. Your career development has led you to consider careers both without and outside of academia, so it is no surprise that academia and industry have become much closer together. And the question, what are the pros of that, what are the cons, and how can you be participant in that journey? Lessons in science policy have led you to consider the role of advocacy for science, the threats of laws and regulations that do not support your training or performance of unbiased science, as well as discussions of taxation of your tuition scholarships that might limit your ability to focus undisturbed on your path to becoming scientists, and I know some of you were involved in those discussions when we went through them in the past year. While all of this has been going on in this past year, what have been the external forces affecting or distracting your development in becoming researchers? Campus activities, programs have kept you busy, and a number of things in sports and recreation and 50 or more student organizations, classes in student government. There were plenty of opportunities for you also to get involved and gain leadership experience and become a part of an interest-driven community. And many of you did that and sought to expose yourselves to the issues of the day, the service experiences designed to link our institutional mission with community needs, enabled you as students to develop, hopefully, a sense of social responsibility and professionalism. Many of you took advantage of these. So what were some of the events of 2017 and 2018? And I know the audience in front of us is familiar with these. As you studied your craft, let me state but a few. The inaugural March for Science was a series of rallies and marches held in Washington, D.C., and more than 600 other cities around the world on Earth Day, April 22nd of 2017. SUNY Upstate Medical University supported your wish to participate in the march as a demonstration of your commitment to science and to your craft. In a slightly different domain, the hashtag #MeToo, hashtag Time's Up, hashtag Enough movements occurred with a declaration on the front page of the Times magazine on December 18th of 2017 of the person of the year, quote, the silence breakers, who exposed on a global scale the flaming issues of sexual harassment in the workplace, in education, and throughout our society. This brought even greater focus, especially for colleges and universities, on Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and Title IX, prohibiting discrimination of protected classes, inclusive of gender, and around the world, the realities of bias are even more acute for women and girls with the most challenging circumstances, limiting their education and their aspirations, for example, to follow in your footsteps. Other events, the continuous onslaught of violent events, mass shootings, one just occurring yesterday where we lost 10 young lives to Santa Fe shootings throughout the country and globally, as well as the daily shootings of Syracuse, were hard to ignore. Even if your research was hard to ignore if your research was in the realm of public health, but even for those in the labs, I would argue that these daily realities may have troubled some of your daily workings. So what words of wisdom can I possibly share as I close my comments to you today, your day of commencement? Well, a word that I share, and I will share in the closing with the College of Medicine as well, in this past month when I was admittedly feeling somewhat low, having heard the senseless death of yet another young person in Syracuse. The word that came to me and that I will continue to have every day is courage. Have courage, I echoed to a room of 450 interfaith social justice organizations who invited me to speak. And for you as scientists, I say courage. While the endless hours of your exquisite attention to subspecialized examination of the mechanisms of a particular pathway may not yield, as you well know, overnight, the cure to a particular disease, your incessant thirst for knowledge and inquiry is pure and noble. Your unblemished commitment to the scientific method, essential. While the endless hours in the laboratory may make you feel disheartened and alone, I say courage. You will need courage to report honestly the results of your endless hours of work, whether it refutes or confirms your hypothesis. You will need courage to disclose scientific misconduct when you discover it. You will need courage to support the inclusion of all of those with talent into your field with open arms through mentorship, regardless of their demographic characteristics, and even if they threaten to exceed your own professional success. You have been entrusted with knowledge. Guard it well. Use it well. Thank you for your commitment to science, and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Hannah Phillips, Vice President of the Graduate Student Association, will announce the awards from the Graduate Student Association. Dr. Thomas Duncan, Chair of the Graduate Faculty Organization, will announce the College of Graduate Studies Awards.
Dr. Danielle LaRocca-Rena and Dr. Mark Schmidt will now present the awards for the College of Graduate Studies. Dr. Julie White will assist. The award for professional and public service honors a graduate student who has significantly contributed time and effort to volunteer services and has demonstrated a commitment to the continuance of community programs. Will Heather Nelson please come forward to receive your award? The Graduate Student Association Outstanding Teacher Award is selected by the College of Graduate Studies students in appreciation of dedication and excellence in teaching. Will Dr. Patricia Kane in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology please come forward to receive your award? The Research Presentation Award honors graduate students who present their work at the Charles Ross Memorial Student Research Day. The recipients of this award displayed excellence in presentation style, logic, and feasibility of technique, scientific significance, and clarity of purpose when presenting their work. Will Arturo Barbachano Guerrero please come forward to receive your award for Best Oral Presentation? Our other Best Oral Presentation recipient, Nicole Maza, is unable to attend, so we will accept the award on her behalf. Will Cameron McQuarrie please come forward to receive your award for First Prize Poster Presentation? Our second prize poster award recipient, Rose Pascal, is unable to attend, so we will accept the award on her behalf. Thank you.
The Written Research Proposal Award is presented to a graduate student whose written research proposal displays excellence in scientific significance, clarity of purpose, logic of execution, and feasibility. Will Hannah Phillips please come forward to receive your award? The SBI Distinguished Student Research Award recognizes PhD students who have made an impact in biomaterials research at Syracuse University, SUNY ESF, and SUNY Upstate Medical University, and who have made significant contributions to the SBI community in promoting productive collaboration. Will Dun Dun Guo please come forward to receive your award? Maxwell Moselle Unsung Hero Award is intended to honor a student who strengthens the community of Upstate Medical University's College of Graduate Studies by bettering the lives of those around them and does so unselfishly without thought of recognition or reward. Will Jacqueline Schulman please come forward to receive your award? The John Bernard Henry, MD, Endowed Scholarship is presented to a student in the College of Graduate Studies for an outstanding paper that exemplifies excellence in academic and research achievements. Will Dan Dan Guo please come forward to receive your award? The SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence is presented to a student who has best demonstrated and been recognized for the integration of academic excellence, which may include leadership, campus involvement activities, community service, creative or performing arts, or career achievement. Will Heather Nelson please come forward to receive your award?
Heather Nelson has been selected by the students as the Class of 2018 Student Speaker. Heather, will you please come forward?
Thank you, President LaRoccarena, Dean Schmidt, dignitaries, faculty, College of Graduate Studies staff, and a special shout out today to Terry Brown as she's put on a phenomenal commencement for her last one, and congratulations on your retirement. Thank you also to all our family and friends out here that have come to celebrate with us. We appreciate that. And most of all, thank you to my fellow graduates who are up here on stage today with me for giving me the honor of being your chosen student speaker. It is really hard to believe that nearly 10 years ago, much like today, I was standing in front of another group of family and friends giving the student address at my high school graduation. When presented with the task at speaking at this ceremony, I initially thought, yes, no problem, I've done this before. But then as I sat to think of what I would say, the task became all the more daunting. I thought, I will be on stage surrounded by people that are as smart or smarter than me. How on earth am I going to impart any words of inspiration or motivation to them? In my speech 10 years ago, I started off with a quote by Muhammad Ali that finished with the words, "Impossible is nothing." I encourage my fellow graduates to pursue their dreams, no matter what appeared to stand in their way, because all things are possible with a hearty mix of motivation, effort, and perseverance. Today, I'm standing in front of a group that has demonstrated this very idea that impossible is nothing. Since joining the program, we have all made it through foundations, biostatistics, journal clubs, and many different elective courses. Although at times some of the coursework might have been daunting or challenging, it was just the beginning to a long journey that would test our mental grit and our ability to persevere through many challenges we face as blossoming scientists. Once joining our dissertation labs, we were all subjected to the challenges of learning new techniques, honing our ability to think critically, and exploring the unknown by asking well-thought questions, designing experiments to answer these questions, executing them, and analyzing the results. We have all had that one experiment, or two or three, that just would not work. We tried and tried again, but it just seemed impossible at times. Being the hardy bunch we are, that did not stop us. Remember, impossible is nothing. Instead of quitting, we changed experimental variables or found another way to answer the question at hand. I remember the first time I finally got my commune and precipitation experiments to work after trying countless times. I was so excited I did cartwheels down the hall. It was small, exciting moments like these that we all cherish and use to get us through the lulls. We truly are all up here on stage today because we have demonstrated that true academic success is not merely a repetition of the facts, but something greater. We have shown that passion for learning and the ability to think both critically and freely. We recognize that love of wisdom is not an end in itself, but a means to something more, life. Our learning, research, and experiences enrich not only our own life, but the lives of those around us. We are graduating today because we have proven ourselves scholars in every sense of the word. These accomplishments I've just described bring me back to my original dilemma. How can I possibly motivate or inspire such an exceptional group of people? After my dissertation defense, I was talking to some of my friends that are up here on stage with me today. Thank you, Anushri and Subra. They were very kind, encouraging, and offered words of praise regarding my oral seminar and how I handled the questions. As these two individuals prepare for their defense in the coming months, they asked, "How did you do it?" I wish I had a black and white answer, but I don't. Instead, I think it was a combination of many factors that all came together in one coherent performance. Although I have no doubts that my friends will perform excellently in their defense, I decided I would try to highlight one of the biggest factors that influence people's perception of our presentation and will also be critical to our careers moving forward. This factor is confidence. It is a trait I still struggle with, but I've certainly come a long way since I joined the program here at Upstate Medical. I remember when I first joined Michael's lab 5 years ago, I was so afraid to make mistakes, and I had no confidence in doing anything without first verifying that it was okay or seemed reasonable. Although this might be all right when first starting out, it surely slowed progress. Now I move around the lab and plan experiments on my own without hesitation. It's like second nature now. I feel self-confidence is critical to success. If you present yourself with poise and confidence, it will radiate to the audience and you will appear on top of the world. You have all worked incredibly hard to get to where you are today, and you have achieved something very few people achieve. So start believing in yourself. Act on that belief, and you'll start building self-confidence in your life that will help carry you through whatever is thrown your way. Focus on the positives and what you're good at. Additionally, stay away from negative thoughts and people. Instead, surround yourself with positive, confident, and successful people. With all this talk of confidence, you cannot dismiss discussing the fear of failure. When we fear failure, we lose confidence. As I am sure we have all come to know from firsthand experience, failure is one of those things that happens all the time in science. Failed experiments, inability to reproduce experiments, grant and manuscript rejections, the list could go on and on. But as Rahm Emanuel said, you will have failures in your life, but it's what you do during those valleys that will determine the heights of your peaks. We need to turn the negativity surrounding failure around and instead learn to grow from it. When you fall, don't take it personally or make it about yourself. Instead, listen to the constructive criticism and find it inspiring. Use it to better yourself. To tie this back into confidence, when you believe in yourself, you succeed better. The hours spent questioning, doubting, fearing whether you are good enough can be given over to working, exploring, and living. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. When you fail, which will happen, pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and learn from it, and then try again. You will get better, and you will succeed. So if I can leave you with one thing today, please know that you are enough. Dare I say, more than enough. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Heather. It is my distinct pleasure today to introduce our distinguished speaker and 2018 Doctor of Science honorary degree recipient, Dr. Jean William Popp. Dr. Popp received his Bachelor's of Science degree in biology at Columbia University and his MD at Cornell University. Dr. Popp completed his postdoctoral training in infectious disease at Cornell and joined the faculty there. He has been affiliated with Cornell for more than 40 years and is currently a professor of medicine at the Joan and Sanford Weill Medical College at Cornell. Dr. Popp decided to return to his native Haiti in 1980 to help treat infantile diarrhea. However, the AIDS epidemic was just starting to take hold in Haiti, and Dr. Popp helped to recognize this fact. He became the founder and director of Gesquio in Port-au-Prince, which became one of the largest AIDS and tuberculosis centers in the Americas. His public health contributions in Haiti are credited with a 50% decrease in infantile mortality and a similar decrease in HIV prevalence. Dr. Popp is a member of medicine of the National Academy of Science and has received numerous awards, including the Legionnaire d'Honneur from the President of France in 2002, the 2010 Gates Award for Global Health, and Haiti's highest honor, Honoré et Mérite Grand Commander. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Jean William Popp.
Thank you, Dean Mark Schmidt, for this generous introduction. President Daniel Lara Carena, Council Member Thomas Taylor, Dean Giulio Lichinio, Dean Mark Schmidt, university leaders, faculty, students, and families. Congratulations to the 2018 graduates. You have all worked very hard to get this diploma from a great institution. You're all men and women of science. As scientists, you must question everything. This is what makes progress move forward. Ignorance leads to fear, while science brings new knowledge and new hope. But science without conscience is dangerous. Science should be centered on making the world better. A great example on how science conquered fear and prejudice goes back to how the world reacted to the AIDS epidemic. My generation was marked by the AIDS epidemic that was called in the 1980s the wrath of God. It affected primarily in the United States homosexuals, heroin addicts, and hemophiliacs. Society was scared. They needed to find a scapegoat, someone, an ethnic group, a country, to put the blame on them, much like syphilis, which was called the French disease or the Italian disease, depending on circumstances. But AIDS was like nothing we had experienced before. It was way more frightening and dangerous because we didn't know what caused this disease and we didn't know how it was transmitted. It was spreading fast to other countries and continents. Early on, the disease was affecting young men and less often young women in their prime of life and decimating the workforce of the most affected countries. They blame it on the Haitians, who became the fourth H for the 4H disease, after homosexuals, heroin drug addicts, and hemophiliacs. The already anemic Haitian economy took a fatal blow. Tourism and export goods took a deep dive. On a human scale, it was terrible. I remember Professor at Cornell asked me if I thought he should fire his cook who was Haitian and had been working with them for 20 years. Haitian children were not welcome in schools, they could not go to the school cafeteria, and for a long time Haitians could not donate blood. When finally the cause of AIDS and the modes of transmission were well established, the US Centers for Disease and Prevention, CDC, removed Haitians from the so-called risk group for AIDS on May 10, 1985. But it was too late. The damage had been done. During the first decade of this pandemic, a diagnosis of AIDS was the equivalent of a death sentence. In 1987, a drug called azidotamidine, AZT, originally developed in the 1960s to fight cancer, was the first to be licensed by the FDA to care for AIDS patients in a record period of 20 months, as opposed to the usual 8 to 10 years. Today, there are 44 different HIV drugs called antiretrovirals in at least 9 classes, each aimed at fighting the virus at a specific level of its reproductive cycle. When used in combination, the way we often treat cancer, they have 2 major impacts. First, they produce the Lazarus effect, that is, bringing back to life AIDS patients who are dying. The life expectancy of a 20-year-old patient has increased from 1 to 2 years in the early 1980s to 53 years today. Hence, AIDS patients on antiretroviral drugs have a normal life expectancy. The second impact is that AIDS patients taking regularly their medication cannot transmit the virus to others, hence treatment works as prevention. The other serious issue was the cost of these drugs. At $20,000 to $30,000 a year, that prevented access to the most vulnerable populations. On the front page of an issue of Newsweek in 2000, there was a photo of the miracle antiretroviral drugs to fight AIDS, and the following was written: "There are treatments for AIDS, and this photograph is the closest many will ever get to them. This also proved to be wrong. Only 2 years later, in 2002, the United Nations created the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. And in 2003, the United States, under President George Bush, created PEPFAR, the President Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. For the first time in the world, a country, the USA, targeted a specific disease, AIDS, and provided huge resources that have helped to save millions of lives, particularly throughout the developing world, making it possible to slow down and even reverse the course of the AIDS pandemic. In 2000, there were less than 1 million patients on antiretroviral therapy in the world, and only 6,000 for the entire African continent, which bears the brunt of this epidemic. In 2016, there were 20 million patients on antiretroviral therapy, including 70% in sub-Saharan Africa. How did this miracle happen? Scientific breakthroughs, political leadership leading to global solidarity, shared responsibility, and community engagement at the local level made the impossible become possible. This successful AIDS model will be used to fight tuberculosis, which since 2014 exceeds AIDS and malaria as the largest cause of death from an infectious disease in the world. On another different topic, molecular biology has created a new revolution in medicine. As you know, the Human Genome Project was realized through a remarkable international collaborative research program whose goal was the complete mapping of all the genes of human beings. Nobody said it better than Dr. Francis Collins, the actual director of the National Institute of Health, who noted that the genome could be thought of in terms of a book with multiple uses. It's a history book, a narrative of the journey of our species through time. It's a shop manual with an incredibly detailed blueprint for building every human cell. And it's a transformative textbook of medicine with insights that will give healthcare providers immense new powers to treat, prevent, and cure disease. We're just beginning to put to use the immense resources of the Human Genome Project. For instance, the diagnosis of tuberculosis used to take months. Now, it's possible in our own laboratory to diagnose tuberculosis in 90 minutes, including the most dangerous form of tuberculosis, multiple drug-resistant TB. When I returned to Haiti in 1980, my first project was to determine the causes of infantile diarrhea, a major killer of infants in the developing world. It took many months to diagnose the two main causing agents, toxigenic Escherichia coli and rotavirus. Only 2 specialized laboratories in the world could make the diagnosis. Now, in our own lab, we have 2 different machines, one made by Luminex and the other by BioFire, who can diagnose in 90 minutes 17 of the most common causes of infantile diarrhea, including toxigenic E. coli and rotavirus. There is even an effective rotavirus vaccine. So as you can see, science is moving fast, and you must be ready to embrace the changes. My message to you is very simple. Stay focused on science and keep your hopes high. Perhaps one of you will help discover an effective and safe vaccine against AIDS or tuberculosis. The world is capable of solidarity and humanity. All is possible when science and humanity work towards a common goal. Thank you very much.
The degrees from the College of Graduate Studies will now be conferred by President LaRocque Arena. Dr. Mark Schmidt will present the recipients of the degree of Master of Science. Hannah Phillips will assist.
Dr. LaRocque Arena. As Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, I have the honor to present the recipients of the degree Masters of Science. She has satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the receipt of this degree.
Will the candidate for the Master of Science degree in the College of Graduate Studies please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be recognized.
Natalie Dushukian will be hooded by her thesis advisor, Dr. Dimitra Babulia. The title of Natalia's thesis is Phosphorylation and Ubiquitination, Regulate Protein Phosphatase 5 Activity and its Pro-Survival Role in Kidney Cancer. The recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy will be presented by Dr. Mark Schmidt.
You guys ready? Dr. LaRoccarina, as Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, I have the distinct honor to present the recipients of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. They have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the receipt of this degree.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree in the College of Graduate Studies please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be recognized.
Subhrajit Banerjee. Subhrajit is hooded by his dissertation advisor, Dr. Patricia Kane. The title of Subhrajit's dissertation is Binding and Regulation of A subunit isoforms of the vacuolar ATPase to phosphatidylinositol phosphate lipids. Erica Grace Colosino. Erica is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Heidi Henley. The title of her dissertation is The Regulation of Protein Signaling During Mitosis. Avik Datta. Avik is hooded by the faculty marshal, Dr. Thomas Duncan. The title of Avik's dissertation is The Roles of HMGA2 and TIMP1 in Pathogenesis of Myelofibrosis. Anushri Galvedi. Anushri is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Christopher Turner. The title of Anushri's dissertation is Characterization of HIC5 in Regulating Cancer Cell Morphological Plasticity, Migration, and Invadosome Organization. Dan Guo. Dan is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Juntao Luo. The title of Dan's dissertation is Riboflavin-containing telodendromer nanocarrier for drug delivery. Shangdong Guo. Shangdong Guo is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Hong Lu. The title of Shangdong's dissertation is Regulatory Mechanism of the Expression and Transcriptional Activity of HNF4A. Eric William Miller. Eric is hooded by his dissertation advisor, Dr. Scott Blystone. The title of Eric's dissertation is Bundling of Cytoskeletal Actin by the Foramen FMNL1 Contributes to Adenocarcinoma Adhesion and Migration. Theshari Nath. Theshari is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Leszek Katula. The title of Theshari's dissertation is ABI1 is a tumor suppressor in prostate cancer, investigating altered cell adhesion as a neoplastic phenotype. Heather Abigail Nelson. Heather is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Michael Rowe. The title of Heather's dissertation is Multifunctional Roles of Stromal Interaction Molecule 2 in Calcium Signal Transduction. Mamunur Rashid. Mamunur is hooded by the faculty marshal, Dr. Thomas Duncan. The title of Mamunur's dissertation is The Role of Focal Adhesion Complex Proteins in the Developing Mammalian Cerebral Cortex. Angelina Tobias Regwa. Angelina is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Leszek Katula. The title of Angelina's dissertation is Defining the Oncogenic Activity or Function of ABI1 Wave Complex in Breast Cancer. Jacqueline Shade Schulman. Jacqueline is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Richard Wojciechowicz. The title of Jacqueline's dissertation is Characterization and Significance of the Bach IP3R1 Interaction. Dmitry Sergeynov. Dmitry is hooded by his dissertation advisor, Dr. William Brunken. The title of Dmitry's thesis is Epigenetic Regulation of Retinal Development by Laminins. Shweta Devi Veli Vela. Shweta is hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Patricia Kane. The title of Shweta's dissertation is Crosstalk between the plasma membrane and the organelle protein pumps in mediating cellular pH homeostasis. The recipients of the two doctoral degrees, Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Philosophy, will be presented by Dr. Leszek Katula, co-director of the MD-PhD program.
Dr. Larak Arena, Dr. Licino, Dr. Schmidt, Dr. Pearl, and I have the honor to present these graduates who participated in the Upstate MD-PhD program. The MD-PhD program, over the 8-year period, allows students to complete the requirements of both the College of Medicine for the Doctor of Medicine degree and the College of Graduate Studies for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. The students graduate as physician-scientists who, by combining the practice of medicine in the clinic with the biomedical research in the laboratory, are uniquely trained to bring the power of modern science to our understanding and treatment of human disease.
Will the candidate receiving both doctoral degrees, Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Philosophy, please rise? You're up already. Very good. You're paying attention.
I'm excited about this.
The sign of a good scientist. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degrees Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Philosophy with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to receive your recognition.
Dr. Zachary Andrew Oakes. Zachary is hooded by his dissertation advisor, Dr. Andres Pearl. The title of Zachary's dissertation is Metabolic Control of Autoimmunity in the Liver. It is now my distinct honor to invite Dr. Mark Schmidt, Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, to lead the scientific oath and to provide his congratulatory remarks.
Will all graduates please rise to take the scientific oath printed on page 31 of your program? Please read along with me if you could. As I embark on my career as a biomedical scientist, read along with me. You guys can do this. You all have PhDs now. Yes. So let's try it again. As I embark on my career as a biomedical scientist, I will willingly pledge that I will represent my profession honorably and without reproach. I will pursue truth and create knowledge for greater good and report my findings with unwavering accuracy. I will seek to incorporate the body of ethics and moral principles that constitute scientific integrity into all that I do. I will never use my gift and skills to intentionally harm any individual or group, and will treat the planet and all its life forms with honor and respect. I will fulfill my responsibility to mentor and instruct the next generation, contribute to the public understanding of science, and honor the scientific contributions of those who have come before me. By pronouncing this oath, I declare my commitment to these professional standards and goals in my scientific career. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our class of 2018. You can sit down now. Thank you. So, graduates, like your families, loved ones, and the faculty, I'm very proud of you today. You are one class I will never forget. You also mark the 64th year of Upstate's College of Graduate Studies. Every year I struggle some to decide what it is that I want to say to you. This year I debated between politics, irreproducibility in science, the high cost of education, and acknowledging our grad mom, Terry Brown, for her decades of service. For she will be sorely missed. But as she reminded me, today is about you, the great things you have accomplished in the last several years, and for your future. As you take those steps towards the unknown, I would like to talk to you about three things: change, the unknown, and failure, which I feel are all linked, and which actually Heather touched on also. I'm sure that you spend time thinking about your future. For the next year and beyond, trying to plan it out and make the changes that are inevitable run smoothly. As scientists, you have all learned that things often do not go as planned. What I want to tell you is that some of the most important moments of life are those that you cannot predict or plan, but will involve change. We don't like change, we fear it, we try to plan around it, but we can't stop it from coming. And often, we don't see it coming. We either adopt a change or we get left behind. Change often hurts, and anybody who tells you it doesn't is lying. But more often, it is fantastic. Sometimes change is everything. It could be a groundbreaking discovery on an important new theory in your research. It may simply be finding the love of your life or finding out that you're going to be a parent. It could be moving to a new career, a new job, or a new city, or even a change in the way you think about something. It is now your time for change. The future will hold many surprises, and I hope as much change for you as it has for me. Face it fearlessly, with enthusiasm and passion. Embrace the change, and work hard to always turn it to your advantage. It will be your ability to respond to those opportunities and the challenges that will make a difference in your life for those around you. You will find it exhilarating. What gives us life and what makes us human. is that change. As scientists, you've been trained to love the unknown, to walk that edge between what we know and what we don't know, to continue to push that edge farther out, to discover what no one else has ever known. It is an incredible thrill and one that is applicable to all parts of your life. As you know, change is filled with unknowns, and we have trained you well to never fear them, but get behind the unknown and ride it to where you have never been before. The last topic I'd like to remind you of is failure. Failure is something we all do. We all know about science and the brutality of it when it comes to failure. But failure is not something to hide or shy away from. It is something to embrace and turn into the positive. Indeed, many scientists will tell you that research is all about failure, and that if you are not failing, you're probably not trying as hard as you could. We have taught you well to identify why you may have failed, and it's from our failures that we learn and grow. So follow your dreams, even if it does mean change, potential failures, and lots of unknowns. Being petrified of failure means you are going to probably be a very extreme underachiever. Abraham Lincoln said, "In the end, it is not the years in our life that count, it is the life in your years." So congratulations to all of you, graduates, families, friends, loved ones, and faculty. Good luck to you, and embrace and enjoy your future.
This concludes our ceremony. Please remain seated until the end of the recessional.